Getting people to say yes to your services and product pitches isn't hard. What do you need to do? Watch this video. Hey, welcome back to another episode of @whatupjeremy, where I answer your questions on business, lifestyle, relationships, or whatever it is that you want to talk about. Today's question comes from Bree Kozlerich. We'll call her Bree K. She's CheeseBree1. I love the username on Instagram. Bree, forgive me, I don't recall exactly how we connected, if it was on Instagram or through a Facebook community or something like that. So when you get this, leave a comment on IGTV or on YouTube to refresh my memory. Either way, thank you for your question. Bree's question is, I'll show the screenshot here. Here's her question. You and a buddy sat around discussing creating value when pitching a client. I'm assuming this was from my vlog or a recent mentoring with video that has gone up. I need to step up my fucking game. What is the best way you found to create value? And if you got time to talk about your client pitches. Bree, thank you so much for your question. I think this is great. I think that finding ways to create value in all of the areas in our lives and in our businesses is one of the most advantageous things that we can do. And it's one of the things that will propel us further ahead. So I love hearing you ask this question. This is a question that more people need to be going through in their head, because the fact of the matter is, when people don't perceive that you can bring value, or you're not bringing an equal amount of value as them, you will typically lose a lot of trust and a lot of respect very quickly. And that may mean that you don't either get the opportunity that you're wanting, or that may mean that there may be a delay in actually getting to the point in the opportunity that you are going after and what you are wanting. In terms of creating value, I want to talk about a couple concepts, just kind of freestyle here with you, about what this actually looks like. And oftentimes, value can be overlooked because it's this very nebulous thing. It could be valuable for me to bring somebody a cup of water, and that may mean more to them than anything else in this world. Or I could find someone and connect them with someone that funds their business and their company and puts food on their table, and they may not appreciate either of those. And they may appreciate that less than the gesture of the cup of water. And what's coming to me right now as a way for you to determine how you can give value and how the world sees your value is two resources. There was only one for a second, but now it's two. Number one, I want you to check out a book from Sally Hogshead. That book is called How the World Sees You. I'm gonna link it up down below so you can grab it. This is something I've gone through a few times. I've had the pleasure of seeing Sally speak. Back in the day, I had a podcast, and she sent us a bunch of books to give away to our listeners and sign them. She's amazing. She did this for brands, and then she broke down these ways of how the world sees you for personality. So she did it with brands. Now she took it into like an actual personality test. I want you to check that out, because it's all these personality tests out there will tell you about yourself, when that's just not important. What is important is how the world sees yourself and how they see the value that you bring. So check out that book. There's a test that you can take along with it so you can determine who you are. I am the victor. That means that I am the crux of prestige and power. Sally, if I'm getting that wrong, forgive me. If I am getting that right, that's actually awesome, because I haven't revisited the test or my results in a couple years. But check out how the world sees you so that you can best see the archetype of the personality that you are. And the second thing I want for you to check out, this may not sound super businessy, you may have checked this out already, is the 5 love languages. Because this book changed my entire outlook on how I bring value to the world in my intimate relationships and with my personal relationships, and it's also changed the way I do business. There are 5 different love languages: acts of service, quality time, physical touch, words of affirmation, and giving and receiving gifts. Whoever you're communicating with, your value means nothing until you understand what they value and what they appreciate. So I want to go over this because it's important as you're talking with people in front of you, Bree, and those of you watching, that you understand what they get value out of most so that you can touch on that. So that you can benefit them and so you can scoot things along as fast as possible and get into a point of transformation with whatever service you're selling to your clients. The next thing I want for you to think about is that value, again, back to the cup of water versus connecting somebody that funds their business. Those two things based on their love language could be seen as completely different levels of value, and one could go way further than the other, and you'd often be surprised with those results. It's important that you actually know the value that they're wanting to get first. One of the things I always do with anybody that comes into my network is I have a checklist of things I go down. One of those first things is follow-up. Just touch base with them, see how they're doing after you initially connect with them. Another thing on that list might be something like send them a personality test. There's a few that I like sending. I like understanding my network's astrological signs and understanding their stars as well. I get a lot of insight into people that way and how I can best communicate with them and to add value to their world. And so I like to run through these things. And one of those other check boxes in there is connecting them with somebody else. I may not have an immediate way I can bring value, but maybe somebody came to mind in that meeting or in a phone call, or I go on their social media and I find something and hey, they need to know this person, so I go ahead and connect them. Just that gesture goes a long way, and when you start to do this right and well, you start to see huge pieces of that reciprocated your way, and you begin to be the person that not only made that connection, but made their plans, their possibilities, and their futures even come into realization. Now let's talk a little bit more. We kind of went a little esoteric there. We kind of went into the personality and kind of looking at value a different way. Now let's take this back to the ground. It is important that you do have, when you're adding value to your clients, proof of what you do. This could be a business card, this could be a brochure, this could be a folder with multiple offers and flyers inside of it that you can hand to somebody across the table, that you could cold give it to. Hey, I know you're the receptionist, I know the owner isn't here, they're busy, I get that, no worries, I've been that person before. Just make sure they see this or put this on their desk. This is, you're talking to the receptionist, because you would be such a hero if you actually put this on their desk, and because this will really help them with whatever service you're doing. Of course, this is targeted to the businesses that would benefit most from it. So have something that you can leave with them, and also leave an impression from yourself. And this is why I love personal branding so much. This is why I enjoy leadership so much and teaching leadership, is because this is the chance for you to think wholeheartedly through and read through, if you have already, what impression and what your brand is that you leave with people. What do you want for them to think of you leaving? Work backwards from that point. What is the comment you want out of their mouth when you leave the door? What would the most advantageous thing for them to say be when you leave? That might be, wow, that person could really help my business, or oh my God, that person's going places, or wow, I feel like I just met the person I needed to meet. Whatever that statement is, you can work backwards from there and think about the value that you need to bring in between. The thing that I would challenge you the most on in bringing value, this is the important part, all right? We're like 7 or 8 minutes in now, so if you're watching this, this is where you actually get the point that changes your business and your life. Shut up and let them talk. A lot of people, everybody's walking around with a sign on them that says, make me feel important. I'm doing it, Neek's doing it, you're doing it, and the person on the other side of your conversation is also doing it. So just touch on that as much as possible. Ask questions if you're gonna talk. Let them talk, and if you're gonna talk anymore, not ask a question, only talk about what they're talking about. Get them telling stories about not only business, but about their childhood, about their parents, about experiences they had when they were younger that were important, that shaped them to where they're at. What are they scared of? What are they most proud of? And when they give you that answer, make it so abundantly clear that you understand what they are saying, because you are commending them, you're celebrating them, you're asking them further questions to go deeper. And I can tell you that if you do this for any amount of time, the person across the table will be dying to know about you, and now you kind of have a green light. But still don't take it for granted. Make whatever you're saying about them, all of your stories about your products, become stories about how they associate with their stories with them and how it helps them. You want to talk 20-80, 80-20, or have them talking 80-20, preferably 90-10, preferably 95-5. And the 5% is asking questions, is repeating what they're saying to show them that they're listening, asking follow-up questions, celebrating them, commending them, and then actually getting to talk about yourself. And if you do that, you will uncover exactly what they need. You'll hear them tell you what their love languages are. You'll hear keywords that they are saying that you can repeat to mirror and reflect them. And when they do that, you will develop the sort of trust that you need in order to close whatever deal you have. Bree, thank you so much for asking today's question. If you have a question about business, lifestyle, relationships, leadership, whatever it might be, personal branding, marketing, puppies, I would love to answer it for you right here on the show and give you a shout out and send my audience, my followers your way and send you some energy. Hey, if this is the first time that you found me, hello, and selfishly, congratulations. My name's Jeremy Montoya and I manufacture leaders. Here on this channel, we show you how to build your personal brand, and we help you to understand that it is the key to unlocking the dream, to have health, wealth, love, and actually the time to enjoy the fruits of those labors. Be sure to leave a comment right now with a thing that you took away from this, and if a friend's coming to mind that needs to hear this, maybe they're offering services, tag them in the comments below. They'll be glad that you did. I'll see you next week on another episode of What Up Jeremy, and Monday through Friday over on Instagram TV, where we have book reviews, we have tips, we have quotes, we have thoughts every single day on IGTV to help you live the dream and to help you get where you want to be out of business and in your life. Thanks so much for watching. Here's to good fortune.